Good morning. Today we are going to talk about how humans impact the atmosphere. So while you're at home, you're going to copy these notes on the note paper that I gave you yesterday. Then when you're done, you're going to glue it on page 141 of your notebook. And then you will go answer one question on Canvas about these notes. So we're going to first talk about why air is important. It's an important natural resource. The air you breathe forms part of Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere provides gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide that organisms need to survive, which is very important because we breathe in that element. It absorbs harmful high-energy radiation coming from space, like ultraviolet radiation from the sun. It also keeps Earth warm due to the greenhouse effect that we've talked about already. Without the atmosphere, temperatures on Earth would not be stable, so it would not be suitable for human life or other organism life. And like I said, we talked about the greenhouse effect before, but it's the way by which certain gases in the atmosphere absorb and re-radiate thermal energy. So basically, the ultraviolet radiation comes from the sun, hits the Earth, it bounces off the Earth, and gets trapped in the greenhouse gases in our troposphere. These notes will be up on Canvas, so feel free to watch the videos as we go along. The contamination of the atmosphere by pollutants from human and natural sources is called air pollution. So these are harmful things that are in our air. They can come from natural sources such as volcanic eruptions, wildfires, and dust storms, as well as non-natural sources like burning of fossil fuels, which happens in cities and suburbs most often. Air pollution can be classified as gases such as carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and ground level ozone. Remember, the ozone layer that is in the stratosphere, that is good ozone. If it is ground level, that's when it turns bad. So air pollution can also be classified as particulates, which consist of tiny particles of solids that are suspended in air or water. And those particulates that are from vehicle exhaust, these are a major cause of pollution in cities because there are so many vehicles in the area that causes a lot of the vehicle exhaust to get into our air, which pollutes it. So vehicle exhaust is a common source of air pollution in urban areas, because there's a lot more vehicles in urban areas because there's a lot more people trying to get to places. So when sunlight reacts with vehicle exhaust and oxygen in the air, that's when ground level ozone, or the bad ozone, is produced. Like I said before, the ozone in the ozone layer is necessary for life, but ground level ozone is harmful for life. Vehicle exhaust also produces smog. And like I said, you can watch these videos. They will be available on Canvas on the calendar. If you don't know what smog is a brownish haze that forms when ground level ozone and vehicle exhaust react to sunlight. So when the ozone, that's ground level, and vehicle exhaust and sunlight all get together, smog is formed. So smog can damage the lungs and irritate the eyes and nose. Acid precipitation also affects air pollution, or air pollution affects acid precipitation. I'm sorry. Precipitation, as rain, sleet, or snow, contains acids from air pollution. That's what's called acid precipitation. So when polluted water evaporates and mixes with the pollution of the air, it can cause the acid precipitation, which is harmful. Then there's the burning fossil fuels will also release sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides into the air. And when these gases mix with water in the atmosphere, they form a sulfuric acid and a nitric acid, which can also cause acid precipitation to fall. So sulfuric acid and nitric acid are very strong acids, so they can make the precipitation so acidic that it's harmful to the environment because it can kill off some, or it can harm the ecosystems enough to cause enough problems to the organisms that live in that ecosystem. And so that's how it's harmful to the environment. It also pollutes the groundwater because it seeps into the ground. So, some effects of acid precipitation: it can cause soil and water to become more acidic than normal, which is harmful for the organisms that live or drink the water. Changes in the soil acidity cause soil to lose some of the nutrients that plants need, so the plants aren't getting the correct amount of nutrients. It also can make lakes and streams more acidic and cause soils to release toxic metals into the water. So if that happens, the water officially becomes polluted. It's a chemical pollution, like we talked about on Monday. That chemical pollution can cause disease and upset the ecosystem, and it's very harmful to the organisms that drink or live in those chemically polluted areas. So just like there was water quality, there is an air quality, which is the measure of how clean or polluted the air is. Like I said, same as with water quality, it is very beneficial that our air is as clean as possible for us to breathe. So as pollution increases, air quality will decrease. And if pollution decreases, air quality will increase. So two major threats of air quality are vehicle exhaust and industrial pollutants. And we have tried to decrease this by carpooling or riding bikes instead of driving vehicles. And then the industrial pollutants, factories and businesses have been trying to decrease the amount of air pollution that they are putting out through their smokestacks. So we are trying to decrease air pollution as much as we can. So there's something called an AQI, which is the Air Quality Index. And this is a number that's used to describe the air quality of a location. So the higher the AQI number, the more people are likely to have health problems because of the air pollution. So the lower the number, it is healthier to breathe. And just an FYI, air inside a building can actually become more polluted than the air outside because most central air systems pull air from the outside into the system. And if it's bad air quality outside and you get it trapped in a building, that can cause the air inside to be more polluted. Daily exposure to small amounts of air pollution can actually cause serious health problems. So certain people, such as children, elderly people, and people with health problems, are especially vulnerable to the effects of air pollution. Children and elderly people are less likely to be able to fight off health problems due to air pollution because their immune systems either aren't quite developed yet or they are declining. People with health problems, their immune systems are already compromised, so that's why they are especially vulnerable. So some short-term effects from air pollution include coughing, headaches, wheezing, Some long-term effects include lung cancer and emphysema, which is a lung disease. As a result of burning fossil fuels, the atmosphere today contains about 37% more carbon dioxide than it did in the mid-1700s. That is a massive problem. We need to reduce our carbon footprint to help with this epidemic. And because we have 37% more carbon dioxide, our average global temperatures have also risen. And like I said, the 6 degrees of change, if we get up to 6 degree difference, it can be catastrophic. It's hard to know exactly how much the extra greenhouse gases change the temperatures, but we do know that there is a correlation, that they are connected somehow. There are computer models designed to understand climate change that predicts the average global temperatures will continue rising unless something happens and we decrease our carbon footprint. So many changes on Earth have already been linked to higher temperatures. Rainfall patterns and rising sea levels will have many negative effects on life on Earth, and such changes will likely have political and economic effects as well. Earth's protective ozone layer, like I said, is thinning over the polar regions, allowing more harmful UV rays to reach Earth's surface. We talked about this when we started talking about the atmosphere and how part of our ozone layer, because we are depleting it, is thinning. And we talked about the CFCs, or the chlorofluorocarbons, that cause the ozone to break down, and that they have been banned in a lot of products, or majority of products. So we can stop polluting our air with those, because those are breaking the ozone. However, the CFCs that were released in the atmosphere decades ago will stay there many more decades, breaking down more ozone until they finally go away. So, like I said, once you get done writing these notes, please head on over to Canvas and answer the one question about today's lesson, and then you are good to go. You are officially done. So enjoy the rest of your day.